Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni just became the center of Hollywood's latest controversy, thanks to Chelsea Handler's brutal roast at the Critics' Choice Awards. The event, usually a night of celebration and glamour, took an unexpected turn when Handler took the stage and unleashed a scathing monologue targeting the duo. It was a moment that left Hollywood insiders gasping and then laughing. But what does this public humiliation mean for Blake Lively? Could this moment mark a turning point in her career? Handler, known for her razor-sharp wit and unapologetic humor, didn't hold back. She took aim at Lively and Baldoni with biting sarcasm, thanking them for providing a much-needed distraction. So it is important in times like these to have a distraction, and that's why I want to personally extend my gratitude to Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively, she quipped. Her words, delivered with her signature deadpan expression, sent shockwaves through the audience. It wasn't just a light-hearted joke, it was a direct hit on Lively's ongoing legal drama and her public image, which many are beginning to question. Blake Lively, once one of Hollywood's most beloved figures, has recently found herself in the center of controversy. Once seen as untouchable, she's now facing unexpected public scrutiny. Her reputation, carefully built over years of industry success and strategic PR moves, is now at risk of crumbling under the weight of these recent events. And Handler's joke may have been the moment that cracked the facade completely. What made Handler's roast even more devastating was the audience's reaction. This wasn't polite chuckling or nervous laughter. It was genuine, unrestrained amusement. Hollywood elites, including major A-listers like Orlando Bloom, Emma Stone, and Ryan Gosling, were caught on camera doubled over in laughter. Their reactions quickly went viral, amplified by entertainment news outlets and social media. It was a moment that spoke volumes. These weren't just casual viewers, they were the industry's power players, and their laughter signaled a shift in perception. But why is this moment so significant? Because Hollywood is a business built on image and perception. A star's career depends on public and industry support, and when that support begins to wane, the consequences can be severe. Handler's roast, and the overwhelming laughter it received, might just be the moment Hollywood decided it was done taking Blake Lively seriously. It was a symbolic rejection of her carefully crafted narrative, a moment that turned her ongoing legal battle from a serious issue into a punchline. The timing of all this is particularly interesting. Just a few months ago, Lively was seemingly in control of the narrative, positioning herself as the victim in a high-profile dispute. But now, it appears that public sentiment is shifting. The fact that Handler felt comfortable making such a joke, and that the industry embraced it so enthusiastically, suggests that the tides are turning. The industry's reaction raises an important question. If Hollywood truly believed Lively's claims, would they be laughing? If her situation were as dire as she's portrayed, would an entire ballroom of influential celebrities find humor in her downfall? The reality is, Hollywood is a place where perception is everything, and this moment of collective laughter sends a clear message. Lively's narrative may not be as convincing as she'd hoped. Meanwhile, Justin Baldoni, who has also been caught up in this controversy, has taken legal action against the New York Times for what he claims was a defamatory and irresponsible report. His team argues that the article contained deliberate errors designed to harm his reputation. If Baldoni manages to clear his name and regain industry favor, while Lively continues to face backlash, this entire situation could take an even more dramatic turn. Ultimately, this Critics' Choice Awards moment was more than just a roast. It was a defining moment in Blake Lively's career. Whether she can recover from it remains to be seen, but one thing is certain: Hollywood has a long memory, and once the industry turns on someone, it's hard to regain favor. If Lively wants to maintain her standing, she'll need to carefully navigate the fallout from this very public takedown. Only time will tell if this was just a momentary embarrassment or the beginning of a career-defining downfall. Hollywood thrives on carefully curated narratives, and Blake Lively seemed to have a calculated plan to navigate her legal challenges while emerging stronger, more admired, and perhaps even more powerful than ever before. The blueprint was clear. She sought to position herself as the quintessential strong female icon, a courageous figure standing tall against injustice. Her legal battle with Justin Baldoni became the centerpiece of this strategy. The narrative she cultivated painted her as a resilient woman overcoming victimhood, refusing to be silenced despite facing a powerful adversary. In her vision, this arc would culminate in public sympathy, industry accolades, and a solidified image as a modern-day heroine. The courtroom would serve as her stage, a platform to showcase her strength and unwavering resolve. However, somewhere along the way, her carefully constructed narrative began to unravel. The public, and more crucially, the industry, began to see cracks in the facade. Questions arose about the authenticity of her claims, and the disconnect between the polished public image and underlying reality became apparent. What started as a masterful strategy began to backfire in spectacular fashion. A legal showdown with high stakes. At the core of this unfolding drama lay serious and potentially career-damaging accusations. Blake Lively initiated legal action against Justin Baldoni, alleging a disturbing pattern of sexual harassment and a calculated smear campaign aimed at ruining her reputation and career. These were not minor claims. They carried immense weight, capable of destroying reputations and igniting public outrage. Lively's lawsuit painted Baldoni as a man abusing his power, using his industry influence to silence and discredit a woman who dared to speak out. Her legal action was meant to rally support, casting her as a victim bravely standing up against injustice. The media initially ran with the story, fueling the perception that Baldoni was yet another powerful Hollywood figure guilty of misconduct. However, the legal battle and public narrative took a dramatic turn when Justin Baldoni responded with an unprecedented counterattack. Rather than quietly settling or attempting to mitigate the damage, he filed a staggering $400 million countersuit for defamation and civil extortion. This wasn't just a legal defense, it was a full-fledged counteroffensive that sent shockwaves through Hollywood. A lawsuit that changed the game. Baldoni's counter-lawsuit wasn't just aimed at Blake Lively. He expanded its reach, naming her husband, Ryan Reynolds, and even the New York Times in his claims. The message was clear: Baldoni wasn't backing down. He was prepared to fight with every legal and financial resource at his disposal. More importantly, reports began to surface that Baldoni was armed with substantial receipts, evidence that could dismantle Lively's accusations and flip the entire narrative on its head. Whispers of incriminating emails, inconsistencies in Lively's timeline, and even testimonies from witnesses suggested that Lively's case might not be as solid as it first appeared. As this counter-narrative gained traction, the initial support for Lively began to wane. The very media outlets that had championed her case started to express doubts. The New York Times, initially an ally in her fight, now found itself targeted in Baldoni's legal assault. Accusing the publication of irresponsible reporting and biased coverage, Baldoni's legal team aimed to dismantle not just Lively's case but the credibility of the media that had amplified it. The industry's reaction: a changing tide. Hollywood is a place where reputations are built and destroyed in an instant. Initially, industry insiders stood by Lively, sympathetic to her claims. But as Baldoni's case gained momentum, skepticism grew. Whispers in industry circles suggested that some high-profile executives and insiders were beginning to distance themselves from Lively. The breaking point came at the Critics' Choice Awards. A moment of unexpected public humiliation seemed to mark the turning tide. Comedian Chelsea Handler, known for her fearless humor, made subtle yet biting jokes that hinted at the growing skepticism surrounding Lively's case. The audience's reaction was telling: laughter, awkward silences, and an overall sense that the industry had begun shifting its stance. Lively and Reynolds, once Hollywood darlings, found themselves in an uncomfortable spotlight. The power of evidence, the mysterious receipts. Perhaps the most intriguing element of this entire legal battle is the rumored existence of Baldoni's receipts. While the specifics remain undisclosed due to legal proceedings, the mere mention of hard evidence has had a profound impact on public perception. What are these receipts? Are they emails contradicting Lively's timeline? Witness testimonies exposing inconsistencies? Text messages proving ulterior motives? The lack of concrete details has only fueled speculation. But one thing is clear: Baldoni's legal team believes they hold the key to flipping the entire case upside down. The existence of this evidence, even if not yet revealed, has already chipped away at Lively's credibility. The longer these receipts remain in the shadows, the more the public and industry speculate about what they might contain. And speculation in Hollywood can be just as powerful as truth. The fallout: what's next for Lively and Baldoni? As this legal war rages on, the future for both Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni remains uncertain. If Baldoni's counterclaims prove successful, Lively could face not only reputational damage but severe financial and legal repercussions. On the other hand, if she manages to counteract Baldoni's aggressive legal strategy, she might reclaim control of her narrative, though the scars of this battle will undoubtedly linger. For Ryan Reynolds, who has largely remained silent, the stakes are also high. With his name entangled in the lawsuit, his reputation could take a hit, especially if further evidence surfaces that contradicts Lively's claims. The industry, always watching closely, will determine whether this couple can weather the storm or if this saga marks a turning point in their careers. As for Justin Baldoni, his decision to go on the offensive was bold, but it carries risks. If his evidence holds up in court, he could emerge as the victor, clearing his name and reinforcing his position in Hollywood. If not, his aggressive strategy might backfire, cementing him as another high-profile figure caught in the #MeToo era's reckoning. Final thoughts: a case that defines Hollywood's power struggles. This legal showdown encapsulates everything about Hollywood: power, influence, media narratives, and the unpredictable nature of public perception. What began as a seemingly clear-cut case of a woman standing up against a powerful man has evolved into a complex, high-stakes battle where nothing is certain. As new developments unfold, one thing remains clear: the battle between Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni is far from over. The next legal moves, the potential release of damning evidence, and the shifting tides of industry support will determine the ultimate outcome. Until then, Hollywood, and the world, watches with bated breath. In the ever-intensifying legal battle that has captivated Hollywood, a new twist has emerged, adding a layer of suspense to an already explosive situation. The inclusion of Ryan Reynolds and the New York Times in Baldoni's massive counter-lawsuit raises significant questions about the scope and strategy behind his legal offensive. What prompted Baldoni to target Blake Lively's husband, a fellow A-list celebrity, and one of the most respected journalistic institutions in the world? Was Reynolds' inclusion in the lawsuit simply a strategic move designed to amplify the pressure on Lively? Given their high-profile marriage and the way their public images are intertwined, Baldoni may be attempting to leverage their marital connection to increase the stakes. But does Baldoni actually believe that Reynolds played a more direct role in the alleged smear campaign? Could Reynolds have been involved behind the scenes, exerting influence or even providing financial support to shape the damaging narrative against Baldoni? On the other hand, the New York Times represents a completely different kind of target. By suing a major media outlet for defamation, Baldoni isn't just seeking financial compensation. He is making a bold statement, challenging the credibility of the media narrative that initially favored Lively. This move could be interpreted as a calculated attempt to intimidate other media outlets, discouraging them from further amplifying Lively's claims. If successful, Baldoni's lawsuit could create a chilling effect on future reporting, making journalists more hesitant to take sides in high-profile Hollywood disputes. Regardless of the motivations, one thing is clear: the inclusion of Reynolds and the New York Times significantly broadens the conflict. What once appeared to be a personal legal battle between Baldoni and Lively has now transformed into an industry-wide showdown with potentially far-reaching consequences. This case is no longer just about two Hollywood figures. It is now about power, influence, and the way narratives are shaped in the modern media landscape. For Blake Lively, this moment is undoubtedly career-defining. Once considered one of Hollywood's most untouchable darlings, she now finds herself in an unenviable position, mocked, scrutinized, and at the center of a public relations crisis. The shift in public perception has been swift and dramatic, culminating in the brutal roast at the Critics' Choice Awards, where Chelsea Handler's scathing remarks sent shockwaves throughout the industry. Handler's roast wasn't just a fleeting comedic moment, it was symbolic. It marked a turning point, a public declaration that Lively's once carefully cultivated image had suffered a catastrophic blow. Hollywood, known for its quick turnarounds on loyalty, appeared to have made up its mind. The same industry that once celebrated her now seemed to be turning its back, a phenomenon all too familiar in the world of entertainment. The question on everyone's mind: has Blake Lively been effectively cancelled? Is her once promising career now in jeopardy? And what will be the long-term consequences of this very public, very brutal takedown? While only time will reveal the full extent of the damage, one undeniable fact remains. The narrative surrounding Blake Lively has undergone a dramatic and potentially irreversible transformation. Her meticulously maintained image has been shaken to its core, and the future of her career in the unforgiving landscape of Hollywood now hangs in the balance. In the coming months, all eyes will be on the legal proceedings, the media coverage, and the industry's reaction to Lively's next moves. Will she attempt to rebuild her image and reclaim her status, or will she fade into the background, unable to recover from the immense backlash? And what about Baldoni's lawsuit? Will it succeed in reshaping the industry's approach to public scandals, or will it backfire, further complicating an already chaotic situation? Hollywood thrives on drama, and this unfolding battle is proving to be one of the most compelling sagas in recent memory. With power players, media giants, and legal heavyweights all entangled in this intricate web, one thing is certain: the story is far from over. Whether this chapter ends in redemption or downfall, it is a moment that will be remembered as a defining shift in the careers of those involved.